So the system requirements for HELLBLADE 2 came out a few days ago, and I want to go over them and see how intensive it is and what to expect when the game comes out. I believe it comes out in a couple of weeks, so it should be pretty soon. And yeah, starting it off with the lowest preset. For low and medium, the targeting 1080p. I'm assuming 30 FPS, because at the bottom it does say higher frame rates or resolutions can be achieved with the use of DLSS or FSR. And yeah, for the CPU, the quite light, using an i5-8400 or an i5-9600. This one came out in 2016 or 2017 actually, and this one in 2018, so pretty old at this point. And yeah, for the Ryzen situation, again, very light. These are pretty, I guess, low-end CPUs at this point. They're not bad, but obviously, yeah, they are pretty old. Time for the GPUs. This is the important part. Need a GTX 1070. Not too bad, surprisingly. Again, this is pretty old. If we do use FSR 3 here, 60 FPS could be doable, but we'll have to wait and see. For the VRAM, 6 gigs, so 1060 with FSR. Maybe we can do 30 FPS there. I would imagine we could, but 60 FPS, again, I'm going to be unsure on that. System RAM, 16 gigs. It's pretty basic. I think it's best to have 32 at this point, but I think 16 gigs should be fine, as it says right here. Storage, all SSDs. Using a hard drive could be doable. Again, with some games, it does say SSD required, but you can still use a hard drive and play them just fine. But in others, it does need an SSD. The game will stutter, freeze with a hard drive. And obviously Windows 10 or 11, this is all basic. Medium settings, it'll jump up to an RTX 2070. That's a decent jump, around a 30% increase. For VRAM, it's going up to 8 gigs. So I would imagine the 3060 Ti, the 3070, all those cards are going to fit right in between medium and high. And with DLSS, of course, high settings should be more achievable. And for system RAM, again, 16 gigs. Everything down here is the same. For the highest settings, we're going up to 1440p. Our CPU is increasing up to a 10th gen i7. It's more recent, but still 4 years old, so not too major. GPU, an RTX 3080, obviously the AMD equivalent, but the Intel Arc A770. That is a weird choice. I know there's only 2 cards for Intel, but still this is far weaker than the 3080. I believe it's around the RTX 3060 in terms of power, but with upscaling, I mean maybe, but this doesn't really fit here, I feel like, but it's whatever. VRAM, 8 gigs still, surprising. The 3080 has up to 12, but can also have 10. And obviously the AMD and the Intel sides are going to be fine as well. And lastly, for the very high category, going for 4K at the high preset again. So weirdly enough, the CPU requirements go up. Now there could be a bunch of reasons as to why that is, but if I was going to guess, a CPU from this section should also work fine here as well. For the GPU, an RTX 4080, I think if it's running at native 4K at 60 FPS, then this is pretty fair. But if it's using upscaling or targeting 30 FPS, then that's pretty rough. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is running at native, and a 4080 for 4K high settings is alright. And obviously going back to the 3080 and all those cards, you could go ahead and target a higher resolution and get a playable game out of it with DLSS or FSR 3. And VRAM, of course, 12 gigs, going up by quite a bit from 1440p up to 4K. And again, everything else is the same. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The game comes out on the 21st, I believe, so I'll have the videos out by then. And I believe this will be another 30 FPS title on Xbox. I think Starfield was 30 FPS. It will be 60 FPS soon with an update. And also Redfall was a 30 FPS title. I think Forza was the only one that was running at 60, which is wild. I think the ROG Ally will also be a challenge, but maybe 30 FPS with FSR could be doable. We'll see how we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Next video. See you guys there.